Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTuber Ronin, and I would like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. This series is a retrospective of the television series Twin Peaks, the cult classic from the 90s. It's 25 years later. Season 3, which appeared on called The Return, which appeared on Showtime, and all of the multimedia surrounding it, including tonight's presentation, Industrial Symphony #1, The Dream of the Brokenhearted. Joining me on this odyssey are superfans Last Call Troy Pacelli.
Hello.
Netters Network.
Good evening.
And Aged Boomer.
Hello, everybody. Listen, I don't mean to hijack your stream, but I've been in contact with Flappy's third born, Milo, and he may be in the very near future launching a new form of cryptocurrency called the Flappy Coin. Now, y'all can get in on this if you want, or you could be caught napping and lose out on making a fortune. So I just thought I'd give everybody fair warning. I'm in on it.
Another crypto scheme. Oh no.
It's not a scheme, man. It's not a scheme. You think Flappy was a schemer? You're besmirching his name by even saying anything he'd be associated with would be a scheme.
I don't know. The last scheme I heard about was the Haiktua girl was doing a thing. And
I don't know nothing about that. And we may have some Flappy NFTs too in the future too. So I'm getting.
Are NFTs still a thing?
You know what they are as far as Milo is concerned.
Okay.
Anyway, you don't like Milo already. I can tell you don't trust him because yes.
Would he go by Milo Flappy Son?
He's just Milo. No, there's already a Flappy Jr. There can't be another Flappy Jr., much to Milo's chagrin. But, I told you that Flappy Jr. ended up as a 2-piece and a biscuit in a Roy Rogers meal. All right?
Well, have his people contact my people.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay.
And everyone forgets the middle child. You don't even remember his name, do you?
Not off the top of my head, no.
See? It was a girl. It was Jan. No, I
Jan.
Jan. No idea.
I do want to say hello to some people who've joined us in the chat. First one here, channel member JPRPH1.
Yep.
Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Wide shot for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions, Connie Clary. The creator of the 10-Word Review, the host of Films with Friends, where I will be appearing this Friday night at 7 for 1969's Marooned Big Out Presents. Something Last Call, Dark Side-ish. Don't know. The Tired Midnight Blogger, the voice of Northern Oklahoma, Curtis Selby. Okay. Scrolling down. JPRPH1 dropping the member chat. Member for 6 months. All right. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Geek Flag with a Nate Knows says, I heard Flappy was starting his own only tweets.
Only tweets.
And man down. Curtis, no, stay with us. There is a show.
Gosh.
All right. So, Industrial Symphony #1, which, and I know that Troy has his as well. This is the, I don't know if you can see it. This is the Very
it's
shiny.
very shiny.
This is a let me try and blow myself up here. I do not have great lighting in this room, folks. This is the original VHS from back in the day, and this was, if I remember, and Troy, stop me if I am incorrect here, please. This was between the first two seasons, correct? Or during the first season, or what was the timeline of this?
I do think you're right. Gosh, it came out. Well, you know what? What year did Wild at Heart come out?
Wild at Heart was
1990.
Yeah. So this was, I believe, same year or just before.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it had to be right around there. I do also remember that I got my copy at the record store.
Yes.
Don't know, I don't remember and what store was it? It was it was one of the ones in the mall. Darn, I can't remember which one. It was one of the franchised ones, but I do remember going in, and I got the soundtrack from Twin Peaks. I got Floating into the Night, and I picked up that, and picking up the VHS when I saw that they had that as well. And I was like, gee, what's this all about? And finished watching it. I'm like, it's basically a concert / music video type of thing. Presentation.
Right. I was unfamiliar with it up to literally the point of finding it. And I was at that time basically consuming all things David Lynch and especially Twin Peaks related. And that's kind of the interesting thing is you have the Wild at Heart angle in that you also have Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern in this film.
Yeah.
But you also have music mostly from Twin Peaks, but also a couple of selections that are in Wild at Heart as well. So it is kind of a something of a melding of the two. And we had wanted originally to do Wild at Heart tonight, but unfortunately, with our schedules being what it was, kind of had to push that back. But we are going to do Wild at Heart at some point very soon. And speaking of last week's show, Nate with the $5 super chat, thank you. After watching so I can check myself out to be here tonight.
Wow. I hope this doesn't cause you to relapse. I really do.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Eraserhead, but there's some
visuals here. Including one bit that I will be wondering if YouTube keeps. This is also, I have noticed that there are a couple of channels that do have this that appears to be in its entirety. Can't speak to that because I haven't watched it because I have my own copy, as I said. But yeah, you can follow along with us, of course, as usual, on Cosme. The link should be pinned to the top of both chats. So, all right.
Yep, ready when you are.
Let me once again head on over there and firing up the Cosme. I do want to remind everybody before we do so that if you stay till the end of the broadcast, you will be auto-dramatically redirected to Troy's channel for tonight's episode of the season 3 premiere of Blake 7 entitled Aftermath.
Yep.
But in the meantime, buckle your seatbelts for the next 50 minutes and turn it up to 11 because the Industrial Symphony #1 is here. Featuring Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern, Julie Cruz, and the music of Angelo Badalamenti. And we will be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
There we go. Industrial Symphony #1. The dream of the brokenhearted. Yeah, that's the part people tend to forget. They remember the Industrial Symphony #1. Welcome, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Good to see you, my friend. Gosh, she was so young. So was he. Boy, he would have been the perfect age to play Elvis Presley. You know what I just realized? You don't ever actually see his lips moving.
Well, I guess not.
Because it's covered by the phone receiver.
For you youngins, that's what a telephone used to look like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think Nick Cage could have played Bob?
Oh, he can play just about anything. Yeah. Do you know if this was ever actually performed live?
Wasn't it? I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been. I mean, the way this looks.
Is it the first Tuesday of the month at 10 o'clock?
Yeah. Air raid siren.
I get to hear it doubly because we've got one at the school, which is right by us. And then there's another one off the major highway. It's Route 59. So it's about like 2 blocks or so down the road.
Yeah.
And I hear that one too because there's one there. That's pretty dress.
Mm-hmm. Now, this tune is from Floating into the Night. Am I correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's see. I take that back. It was from The Voice of Love.
Ah.
That's Julie Cruz, right?
Yes, it is.
She's got one of those haunting voices.
Yep. I think that was a cameo by David Copperfield in the background there.
I was wondering what was going on with that. Yeah.
That's cute, Nate. I mean, there's really not a lot here to parse. It seems to be in the wheelhouse of. I mean, the title kind of says it all, right? You know, it really is all about the dream of the brokenhearted, right?
Mm.
And then we see a couple breaking up on the phone. The song is literally about losing the one you love. Their relationship has gone up in flames.
It's Copperfield.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Definitely a lot of industrial imagery. Which in a way kind of ties in with the whole Eraserhead vibe from last week.
Mm.
Okay, this is where they need the warning if you're epileptic or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Seizures.
You would need that up front because there's a lot of that. Curtis, Tawny Katane.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, we tend to pick apart everything and, what does this symbolize? What is he getting at with this? I guarantee you that was just, we want to focus on her legs. That's all that was. Nothing more than that. Nicolas Cage would have been Bob on meth.
Yeah.
Bob would be like, I thought I was pure chaos. I got nothing on this guy. I also like the way the horns actually do sound like sirens. This one is definitely from Floating into the Night.
Is that girl naked?
Topless.
Quite.
I can imagine the behind the scenes on this. Julie Cruz going, wait. I've done all these songs about floating and you're actually going to have me strung up on wires? That seems a little on the nose.
Makes sense though, huh?
Right. This is a very iconic scene from this. I believe they use it in a lot of the promotional material and on some versions of the cover. I think even the way they string these songs together, you can almost imply a narrative to it. So we go from a relationship up in flames, right, to I float alone, as you would when you're coming out of a relationship.
Black Sea.
Yeah.
It's a saw. Hey.
Yep.
Yep.
Garmin Boja.
Now, this Black Sea segment, I think, is unique to Industrial Symphony number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly not very melodic. It's more ambiance sounds.
Who's that?
I think it's the bloke that was floating earlier. I like his hat.
What? Wait. Eh, That was the first version of the flashlight, you know.
Yes, it was. I don't know if you ever noticed this about Mikey Anderson, but all of his shoes are custom because he's got one leg shorter than the other. Obviously, Into the Night, Twin Peaks, also Floating into the Night. He's got one leg shorter than the other, so his left foot, I believe, has like a platform heel or platform sole. So all of his shoes had to be made that way.
And there's always music in the air.
Yep. I actually used this piece of music as background in a gothic horror based Dungeons and Dragons game. And I timed it very specifically for a bit of a jump scare at that one bridge at the end.
Yeah.
course, I mean, bit of a spoiler. There's a little bit of a jump scare they throw into this at that point in the song too.
Oh.
JPRPH1, Wuthering Heights, right? I mean, this is a beautiful piece of music.
Mm-hmm. What?
Boom.
Oh,
Denial. It's not just a river in Egypt anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Then we got this Wendigo thing.
what the heck?
Ladies and gentlemen, the tall skinned deer.
Anyone feel like eating baby back ribs right about now? No.
Why does that song sound like A Town Without Pity?
It does have some connective tissue there, yeah. I believe it's from season 2 of Twin Peaks.
The pilot.
Oh, is this from the pilot?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one he plays on the
Or the jukebox in the diner, yeah.
on the jukebox, yeah.
I would not want to be the guy on those stilts.
What in tarnation indeed. What?
This one, I believe, is also unique to Industrial Symphony number 1.
Huh.
It was at this point where my dad was going, okay, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's a mood piece.
Yeah.
They didn't exactly get to her right away, did they?
No, not at all. They were too busy messing around with their Franken Windigo. Frank Indigo.
Frank Indigo, yes, okay.
But now, what do you do with a body? You stick it in the boot.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Years and years of mob movies have taught me that.
Yeah, we kind of startled our car dealership when we went to go buy our new car, and I was like, I need to see the trunk. So he opens up. It was like, yeah, I guess I could fit about 3 bodies in there. And he just kind of looked at me funny. It's like, hey, my last name does end in a vowel.
We're talking family business here.
Making offers people can't refuse, that sort of thing.
Remember
That's the art of the deal.
When Kyle MacLachlan was on Tales from the Crypt?
I actually don't.
Yeah. He's this escaped serial killer, and he's got a cop chasing him through the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a line. This is the line from the show, guys. This is not me. Okay, it says, "Women can't live with them. Can't stick more than 2 in the trunk of a car at the same time."
Depends on the size of the trunk.
Yeah, and the size of the woman. Yeah.
I mean, I'm small, so you could fit, at least 3, maybe 4 of me in the trunk of our car.
Yeah, and that's with that emergency box that you got in there.
No, the big, half of it's got some supplies in it. The other one's got for frozen foods.
Is that Tawny Katane again?
No.
I gotta say, this is actually better, like beatnik style poetry than anything that William Shatner ever did. No offense to William Shatner. I never liked his spoken word stuff.
She packed my bag last night.
Pre-flight. Obviously, this is the dialogue from the opening.
Okay.
By the way, the girl with the legs there, I believe, was Lisa Almquist.
I guess she ain't dead no more.
She got better. Of course, this was featured in Twin Peaks. It was also featured on Floating into the Night, I believe. I believe it was. Yes, it was.
Who wrote these songs?
Oftentimes the lyrics were done by David Lynch and the music was done by Angelo Badalamenti.
I could also see this working in Mulholland Drive as well.
Oh, absolutely.
In that particular. All right, Shadows in My House. Manny Has Brown Eyes. She'll Never Go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again underscores how much overlap in narrative these stories all have. How there's value in, even two apparently unrelated Lynch productions.
Big chunks of plastic.
I was actually thinking that too, Nate. He said, I think Al Bundy said it the best. Women can't live with them. Yeah. This is the blood wine, and this is the barrel. Drink full and descend unto Grethor. The white of the Targ's eyes is the dishonor within. There you go.
Nate with okay, back to the asylum.
Yeah, exactly. She's actually singing from the boot of the car.
Well, she's lip syncing at least from there.
Oh, yeah, because this was obviously the release version of the song, which was recorded in a studio. And then you got these chorus girls snapping their fingers wearing gloves. I'd like to know how that happens. What's his face from Cheers, the postal worker? Women can't live with him. Pass the beer nuts.
Dude, I love the cats playing the piano. Never mind.
And actually in tune to the way she's singing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got a gig this weekend, huh? I forgot. The local con, right? They're the daughters of Thanos. Okay. So there's a greater than zero chance he's going to throw one of them off of a cliff, is what you're saying.
Uh-oh. What's coming?
But that's not how it works. My dad once said, son, women have the gold mine and we have the shaft. Yeah. They say they'll split it all down the middle, but then they give her the better half. Oh, I would love to do a rewatch of The Wall again sometime. Yeah. I'll have to throw that into my hopper of possible films to watch. Yeah, it definitely does have that kind of a feel to it, doesn't it? It is like air raid bombing.
What? Wait, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
Yeah. It's raining babies. Hallelujah, it's raining babies.
That's freaky.
They're baby bombs.
Did one of those baby dolls look like David Bowie? I'm not joking.
It probably should, right? I am almost certain that this predates Fire Walk with Me. Am I right on that, Deleted? Which, of course, would preclude, specifically having David Bowie in mind. Hey, teacher, you're kind of freaking me out.
Now they're going
This
back.
Streets of Fire sequel is weird. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's by David Lynch. This whatever is weird. Yes, that's intentional. The World Spins, which is the song that closes out Floating into the Night.
And of course, the episode where we get the reveal of course, Leland.
Right. That's the thing about these are all ultimately you could classify them as jazz pieces, but they are also the score for Twin Peaks and a number of other things. They convey a mood. Most of them are haunting, bittersweet, tragic.
She's floating again.
Yep. That's actually a really cool GIF, Nate, of Laura wrapped in plastic in the water. You don't usually see that particular imagery. So, do you feel that this is predominantly told from the point of view of Laura Dern's character?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They gonna drop her again?
No.
That freaked me out when they dropped her.
Yep. Even though I told you it was coming, right?
Oh, I guess those. I don't know.
I wish to do more violence. I had Floating into the Night and the Twin Peaks soundtrack on cassette, and I played those constantly.
Oh, as did I. Yeah. I mean, when I said when we were watching the show that I got to the point to where I started dressing like Cooper, I wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
I did. And I did have the soundtrack on a loop. There was a point where I was watching this every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it changed the way that I looked at television.
Yeah.
You could I even realized it back then. I am watching a show that is decades ahead of its time.
Yep. And if you take nothing else away, and I really was not expecting to get too terribly deep into the weeds on this. This is really just a mood piece. Enjoy the music. But I also want to point out that this music and how it drives the narrative and augments the story, which I suppose you could argue is always true of a soundtrack. It's an integral part of the story. And it really did change how I looked at music in a feature, whether it's a movie or TV show or whatever. Funny thing is, sometimes when a soundtrack is done well enough, you don't even notice it. But sometimes when it's not there, when there's silence, you take notice, you know? There's also, I can't think of a movie off the top of my head, but there were a number of TV shows that oftentimes had soundtracks, especially in the 70s, that you were like, this is not the right music for this, you know, particular part of the narrative. So you also notice it when it's the wrong music.
So when did this come out in relation to the show?
We were debating on that. Steven thinks it came out between seasons 1 and 2, and I think he's probably right, but I'm pretty sure it came out before Fire Walk. Yeah, before Fire Walk with Me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I suppose would be on track there because Fire Walk with Me came out the year after season 2. And again, I don't really think that this was intended to be any kind of a major story. You know, I do feel like it's taking the two protagonist characters from Wild at Heart, which we just assume because it's the same actors, and implying a relationship there. But by and large, it's really just about a couple that breaks up and the girl going through the emotional journey that one normally goes on after a breakup, you know?
And babies falling from the ceiling.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you wanted to get really, really into the weeds on that one, you start thinking about what was their relationship like? How long were they together? Did they have any children together? Was she pregnant at the time? You know, then that imagery starts to be a little bit more visceral, you know?
Ooh.
But again, there's nothing to say that there's anything to that. This is very abstract. So I'm just throwing out possible things that you could project onto it. That's part of the fun of something like this. JPRPH1 seems to have enjoyed it. I'm glad you did. I mean, yeah, I actually feel pretty good. That was pretty nice.
Oh, I still feel it's a little sad.
It is. It is a little bit sad.
I still feel it's a little bit weird.
It is a little bit weird. That's true. So, Mr. House Party 6, thank you very much for the $10 super chat.
Oh.
I believe that's over there on Deleted's channel. Looked the title up at an interesting. Oh, it's
It's on mine.
Oh, it's on yours. An interesting topic while not being music by Ministry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. So, oh gosh, that is creepy, Curtis. Thanks a lot for that. But thank you very much, Mr. House Party 6. That this is, and I've said this before, and I think it merits repeating every now and again. I see I share these things with you guys, but there's no way that like we could possibly even with Deleted and I sharing with you our history and recollections of these, of our experience with this music and these shows. There's no way we can convey to you the feelings we had. We can do the best we can to describe them, but the associations we had, what we were going through in our lives at that time, the experiences, the way it changed, the way even that's not that creepy, Nate. It's just, I don't know. There's no way we can convey that to you, right? The best we could do is just share it with you, share what we experienced, and hope that maybe in the sharing you enjoy this experience of consuming it with us in this kind of a setting. Build your own memories around it. Maybe it hits you at the right time in your life, and you have your own stories to tell based on it and prompted by it. So Twin Peaks season 2 was 1990, and Fire Walk with Me came out in 92. And this came out, what year was it? Because we can actually answer this question for sure now. This came out in 1990. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. So it definitely did come out before Fire Walk with Me. And it was either just before, just after, or during season 2. Yeah. So how you feeling, Boomer? What did you think of it?
This was odd, man. So you could just go into a store and buy this on VHS, and you would bring it home with you, and you'd watch it over and over again. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes I wasn't even watching it. Sometimes I just put it in to listen to the music.
So you had Industrial Symphony #1. I had the Gate to the Mind's Eye. Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go. And when I was working at the video store, I would sometimes do that. I'd put in movies just to hear a certain tune. Like I'd put in Goodfellas because I wanted to hear the back half of Layla by Derek and the Dominoes at the end. You know, that piano piece?
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. So, not much. I don't think there's much to say about that one. It's just
good stuff.
take it as it is. Yeah, it's just music to enjoy with some cool visuals to go with it. The other thing too is this was 1990, so this was, the end of the 80s, right during that whole MTV era where, the idea of a music video sort of concept was not, a big surprise, right? It's like, okay, yeah, and that was the thing. You'd go into the record store and they'd have records, they'd have CDs, they would have, albums. They had cassette singles. Do you remember cassette singles?
I do.
Couple of those.
And then they would have like VHSs of, like companions to the albums that would have the music videos, and so it was in that section where I found this, and they would have like the rock operas like Tommy and The Wall and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a different time, and we consumed our music differently. If it wasn't something that played on the radio where you could just hit the record button on your cassette, you would have to go out and, get your own physical media somewhere. Although I suppose late 80s, early 90s was when the whole Napster thing got started and whatnot.
Oh, Napster.
Mm-hmm. Breaking news, Flappy has been arrested trying to smuggle bird eggs across the border from Mexico. He's not a coyote, he's a roadrunner. I get what you're saying there. Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. Bring back Napster. I mean, is Napster still around?
For me, Mr. Shelby, blasphemy. How dare you, sir? How dare you? We have Spotify.
Oh yeah, Napster still exists. Yeah. Napster still exists. It's now subscription service for listening to music, like a streaming service. I wonder if it's like actually making any money, because it seems like a terrible business model.
Did Napster ever make any money?
I don't know. I'm sure there were ads or something involved. Anyway, I got nothing else.
This was never released on DVD?
Yes, it was. It's in the David Lynch's Lime Green box set.
Oh, okay.
That's where I got it from.
Lime Green.
Yes.
Is the box set lime green?
It is.
Okay.
The artwork is black and white. The color scheme around it is lime green, and it's got kind of a yellow green lettering.
Cool.
Yes, the lime green box, which I still do not have. So
it's worth it. It's pretty good.
I can't speak to the contents of it, but I'm sure it's all stuff I've pretty much seen at some point or another.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Off topic, but a good question. Has anyone here seen The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon? His series on Amazon.
No.
Not yet. No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've just recently kind of gotten the impression that a whole other problem with streaming services is not knowing what's out there.
Yes.
Because apparently there is this Monarch series on
Apple.
I didn't even know it existed.
That's Apple TV.
Kurt Russell's in it. Yeah.
Kurt Russell is in it. I mean, that's just it. It's like, are you kidding me? You got a big name star in a series based on something that did really well at the theaters. Who knows about it?
The 10 people that subscribe to Apple TV.
Well, right.
I'll say this, at least for the Amazon series, they do release those on DVD, at least.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, those Apple shows, they never show up anywhere but Apple.
Yep. That's what I mean. I don't really understand how, this stuff ever gets seen, I don't understand the whole business model. I just got to be honest.
I don't know. I blame the pandemic for a lot of this. I think that spurred everybody into streaming, and I don't know. I think it's just taking a while for it to just die and just.
I don't blame the pandemic any more than All the pandemic was a catalyst, right?
Right.
So the entertainment industry saw this as an opportunity, took it, but did not think through the long-term consequences of what they were doing. You know, I've compared it to a company that makes change machines. You put in $1, you get out 4 quarters. And oh my God, we broke even? Well, I guess we got to make more machines. You know, there's no thought through, you know, what the money maker is in that. And obviously, you know, it's kind of a joke because nobody makes change machines to make a profit. You buy change machines so that people can make change to give you money for other things. You know, it's a tool. It's a loss leader, right? You money on this. It's an investment in your business,
like in the arcade,
right?
You get quarters, yeah.
And it could be that streaming services could do the same thing. If you make a movie, release it in the theater, you then can put it on your own streaming service. And well, you know what? You can either buy the DVD or you can pay us to see our entire back catalog of everything you've ever seen, you know, of ours, you know, but they don't do that. And they're playing the stupid Disney vault idea, and it's killing them. It really is killing them. And the idea of making something that goes directly to the streaming service, that's just throwing money away. You spend, you know, $100 million to make a TV series, you know, a season of a TV series. You're not making $100,000 more, or 100, I don't know. However, I don't know what these big numbers are, but you're not making that money back in subscribers. You've already got all the subscribers you're going to get. It's going to fluctuate a little bit, but you're never going to get enough people now subscribing that aren't already subscribed to pay for that series that you're making. So you are losing money.
Well, I don't know. I guess they figured people were going to subscribe to every. I guess everyone was trying to be King of the Hill. Is that what it was?
I guess.
Curtis says, the Vault idea was a great idea before streaming. Now all it does is make them too irritated to want to use your streaming service.
Yeah.
Nate says that no studios should have a streaming service. You let some other guy have a streaming service, and the studio should be selling and releasing their own movies to him.
That's what Sony does. That's what Sony does. Yeah. They sell to whoever buys their stuff. They didn't get into the streaming war.
Yep.
All right. Well, Boomer, what do you have coming up?
I'm going to be on a certain last call with Troy Pacelli, but I'll let him go more into that when he goes to his round. We'll have Geeky Geezers on Sunday. Not quite sure.
We've already got a lot of stuff for Geeky Geezers. You can
like what?
That.
There's some deaths.
Oh, look at your notes. I sent you like 5 or 6 already.
I don't know. I guess I didn't catch up today. I'll take a look. Let's see. What do we got here, huh? We got Snarf the series. Live action. I'm kidding, of course, but they're already planning it.
Oh, thank God.
I was going to say, you must have dropped one that I haven't seen yet.
No, I'm just... Let's see here.
Folks, he does do this to me. He drops articles, and I'm like, I have no clue what this is, but okay.
Oh, there's going to be another John Wick spinoff. Okay. I'll say this. The ballerina trailer looked good. I did see the ballerina trailer recently. Mobile Suit Gundam directed. Back respect to okay, well, we'll see about that. Okay, some gaming stuff. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. It'll be exciting.
See?
Yeah. Cool. And that's on Sunday.
Right on. And Monday?
Oh, that's right. Monday on Members Night at the Movies on my channel. A very special guest will be appearing with me, a one aged boomer, because he wanted to be with us when, for the first time, I watch The Big Lebowski. So
yes, so I will be there. Yes.
Members join us at the regular time, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, on my channel. You guys will get the link as soon as I put it up. And if you're not a member, consider becoming a member. It's only $2 a month. And then you could join us and vicariously experience the first time somebody watches The Big Lebowski.
I've never seen it either.
Well, 2 of us then.
What have you been doing with your lives? Honest. Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
We were abiding. That's what we were doing.
I see what you did there. Okay.
See, I got that reference.
Okay. So, Troy, what else do you have coming up besides Members Night?
Well, every day I'm day drinking. So join me for Liquid Lunch every noontime Central or 1 o'clock Eastern, where I'll have a different topic every day and a little drink. And Thursday, I will be over on Netter's Network. She'll tell you all about that. But Friday is a very special last call because Michael French over at Restro Blasting has just finished up with a major project, the Rogue One Deep Dive, and he's taking a little bit of a breather. He can join us on Friday for the part 2 of our James Bond retrospective. So I am very much looking forward to that. I've already got a promo out there, a promo that will play at the end of Blake 7. And yeah. And speaking of Blake 7, that's where we'll be going right after this. So just stay with us. And then Saturday, I'll be on Netter's Network for her watch party that she'll tell you about. Sunday, I'm on with Age of Boomer for Geeky Geezers. And I am way behind on getting clips out. So I'm going to start flooding you guys with clips from Geeky Geezers.
And Liquid Lunch.
Yep, I mentioned Liquid Lunch at the beginning because that's what I'm pushing. That's what I'm trying to tell people about because it's new and you got to know about the new stuff.
Yes.
All right, Netter.
That's it.
Let's see. As Troy has mentioned, on Thursday, I will have a very special guest, Curtis Selby, who will be promoting his brand new channel. Nothing to see here, citizen. And then on Saturday, we'll be watching 4 Rooms. And then, of course, I guest host on Troy's channel for various things. That's it for me.
Yeah.
That brings things back on around to me. Thursday, of course, join me after Thursday Things for coming attractions. Chance to find out what I'm going to be up to for the next week. Up to and including Friday night's special edition of Films with Friends beginning at 7 p.m. Special time as we are going, as Big Al Presents and I are going to be watching Marooned from 1969. Which, of course, those of you who are MST fans will also know as Space Travelers. But this is where it came from. This is going to be the full uncut version that actually makes sense. So, yeah. And then you'll see how much fun it is when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman goes full Shatner. And that's all I'm going to say. So, and of course, Gregory Peck is pretty much Gregory Peck, and I will probably be doing my Gregory Peck impression throughout the broadcast to
Funny.
such a point that the owl will no longer allow me to co-host the show. Anyway, moving on. All right, so let's see. Sunday, both unscripted and reserved seats will return. Guest to be determined. Unscripted will be episode 108. The name of the game is what I'm going to be calling the episode, because there's a certain feature film that changed the title for certain reasons. And I have something to say about that. So we're going to be talking about that. And then if all goes to plan, I will at some point, of course, be joining Members Night, the last call, Members Night to Movies. I might not be able to be there right at the beginning, but I do plan to be there at least for the second half. So you can find me there. And then, of course, join us right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel for the next episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. All right. And of course, I do want to remind everybody that if you stay to the end, you will be auto-dramatically redirected to Blake 7, Season 3, Episode 1, Aftermath. So we'll find out what those pesky aliens are up to and where the gang from the Liberator ended up.
Yep.
All right. Netter, would you like to take us out with your last words? Your closer, I should say, not your last words. No. Oh, my God.
It's because you watched so much death and destruction with that thing.
To be condemned.
Yeah.
What does the condemned have to say?
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping the comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It just feels like we're all hanging out in our family room, passing the popcorn, having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate it. I mean, you could be anywhere right now, and you're here. That's so encouraging. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the many ways that you support us. And until next time, good night and God bless.
All right. And as I say at the end of every show, thank you all once again for joining us here in the live chat and on Cosme. I want to thank Connie, JPRPH1, Nate, and Curtis Selby, and of course Mr. House Party 6 for the super chats and the member chats. And I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. From HQ, the intersection of Sparkwood and 21, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.